just in case by some freak chance you realize I'm right already, even though these videos haven't been the best quality as far as describing the concept. There's some mistakes not to make. One being to use a galvanized steel screen underneath. You have to use plastic screen. Use a zinc screen and it'll kill your plants dead as a tombstone. Because of the zinc, the plants will overdose from that much zinc exposure. Another important consideration is use of the fertilizer. It has to be aeroponic or hydroponic fertilizer, because regular fertilizer like Miracle Grow or anything else you buy at Walmart doesn't contain the required trace elements. You need to get one grow formula and one bloom formula. You look around on Google, it's not that expensive. Another thing is I decided to call the contraption the Aeroponics speedbox. It was the best I could do on short notice. Aeroponic is obvious, box is obvious, and speed is because aeroponics grows plants 3 to 4 times faster than open land farming, 3 to 4 times bigger and 3 to 4 times healthier. Faster being the important operative phrase, meaning 2 crops a year and sometimes even 3. The nice thing about it, not having to have walls or a roof, it not being a greenhouse, it being a box, is that you can grow tall plants. You don't have any size limitation. I mean, with a heavy-duty screen, something on the order of something like this, you can grow tall plants. The Durex DX7 isn't going to cut it for growing tall plants, but something like this will. A nylon screen, something like that. There'll be more on that to come. That's not what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be growing short plants, strawberries and melons, just for the demonstration. The Aeroponics speed box, or Aeroponics speed boxes, because basically it's a box with plants growing out of it. I wouldn't underestimate it. It should have the potential to actually replace open land farming as you know it. It's just a question of time and mass production. Man is but a fool who frets and struts his hour upon the stage. What was that? Full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Okay, let's not go there. This ain't that. Freezers obviously would be better, they're deeper, but this is going to work for the demo. Let's take a look here, shall we? Twins. Identical twins. The nice thing about this is it's going to be portable. I'm going to have this on my trailer. First thing I'm going to do is tip one of these on its side, spooge a bunch of epoxy all over the top of it, and stick the other one on top of that, and epoxy the two of them together. Put a couple of 2x4s across the bottom to stabilize it. Some anchors. Got an area of 5 feet. 5.5 feet. So obviously he's like a day late and $1 short. This pallet is not exactly going to fit, so I have to rebuild it. After these got scrapped out, there was some foam remaining. You can see where the foam is here. Polyurethane around this entire area so the water doesn't have a chance to get in the seal right here in between the white and the tan. And go down and expand the foam. You're going to do with the cheap way like this, the water will freeze in the wintertime and break the plastic, so you got to waterproof it. These are going to be bolted together and epoxied together. And the divider between the freezer and the refrigerator have been taken off of it. I have to go around this entire seal on both of these. With some polyurethane to waterproof it. This is all taped across here. Where this exposed foam is all, just put some moving tape above it. I'm going to polyurethane over all that, waterproof it. So I got this on my trailer. That's where it's going to stay actually. So I can drive it around and demo the thing. I'll be tooling down the road at 70 miles an hour. with the plants going out of the back, and it won't bother the plants in the slightest.
I ain't trying in your video.
They are by my station wagon. Be able to hook this sucker up. Tool on the road, 70 miles an hour. Won't bother the plants in the slightest. They'll be happy as they can be back there. Won't bother them one bit. So it's going to be nice and square. It's actually going to be one box bolted together. Then we got the first screen pallet on top, second screen pallet on top of that, and then the aeroponic pallet, the PVC one with the spray manifold in there on top of that, all strapped down. No need for no walls, no roof. It's even portable. Alright, so just we're on the same page here. Got the boxes. I'm going to have the two wood things with the screens. One of them's going to go on top, another one will go on top of that, and then this with the aeroponic spraying manifolds embedded inside of it. You won't be able to see them looking at it from the side. They'll be inside. They'll be stringed out that way. That's going to go on top of the two polyurethane wood frames with the screens. The whole thing's going to get strapped down. It's not going to go anyplace. It's not going to move. Cardboard with seeds embedded in it. I'm going to take a nail board and a big block of styrofoam, put down my 2 foot by 2 foot pieces of cardboard, put the nail board down on top of the cardboard and the styrofoam, get up on top of the board and walk around on it until the nails punch through the cardboard and the styrofoam, lift it back up. Make 8 of those. Take a ball of bread dough and some fertilizer. Has to be hydroponic or aeroponic fertilizer. Mix that with the bread dough and the seeds and roll it up into little pellets, 1 pellet per hole. And then spray adhesive and another sheet of cardboard on top. That's how to make the seed cardboard. Obviously the seed cardboard has to be mass produced. It can be done automatically at high speed, just like bagging potato chips at the potato chip factory. It's nothing. It actually makes sense to do it by hand. Come up with a little jig to make the balls, basically let the things dry out and use a vacuum manifold to suck the things up, similar to the YouTube video. Search for hydroponic lettuce. You see the California hydroponic lettuce operation where they suck the seeds up with a vacuum manifold. Or do the same thing in your garage or whatever. It'd be worth it to make a little jig. Time saver. Once the seedlings grow to the seed carpet, they're so light in weight, small in mass, that when the wind comes up, they're just going to rotate away from the wind. And it's not massive enough to tear the cardboard, even though the cardboard is going to be wet. The roots down below are going to rotate in the direction that the wind was coming from. There's no hope of the wind damaging the things. I don't care. It should stand up to an 80, 90 mile an hour wind. In fact, it should stand up better to the wind, better than plants in open land farming. Because those are rooted down in the dirt. The top half rotates, but the bottom don't, and the stem creases and the plant dies. And that won't happen to these seedlings. No transplant operation. Bueno. And then once they get down and bound onto the screen, and the roots start bonding onto each other, form a mat of roots, then they won't be any more or less susceptible to wind damage than plants growing in the dirt. So actually the seedlings have an advantage over open land farming using this method. If I was to use concrete, $250 plus about an extra $100 absolute tops to build the pallets and the screens, $350 to get $2,500 worth of crop. The economics add up. I'm just saving me. I mean, maybe I should have gone the 4 foot by 4 foot and built it out of concrete to show the right way of doing it, but hey, I'm saving me $100 using a couple of refrigerators. Saving money is good. It's highly beneficial to the wallet, especially when it's kind of thin in the first place. You know.